Hey, it's Arlen Schweiger, editor of CE Pro Magazine, and I have Franco D'Ascanio, founder of Coastal Source, here to talk about exterior lighting within the whole realm of all the residential fixtures and controls that we've been hearing about so much recently on the residential end. So, Franco, thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Arlen, and really appreciate everybody's taking the time to watch this.
Yeah, and Coastal Source, you guys have really been killing it over the last several years in this category, not only lighting, but audio as well, which is a great upsell opportunity that we'll hit upon later. But first off, Franco, you have a lot of indoor options for people these days. Why should integrators be getting into outdoor lighting?
Well, a little bit of history on us in that we come from the design build integration business, and it still exists today. So when we look at the opportunities and the challenges of doing indoor work versus outdoor work, we do turnkey, very large estate properties. So we do it all. When we look at the opportunities, we think there's so much more opportunity outdoors. That's what Coastal's about. Coastal's only focused on outdoors. And then we look at an integrator that typically has the right kind of customer, and they're doing many services for them. The outdoor lighting is a natural progression. And, the integrators are in early also. So if you present a very high quality product like ours, and that the industry and the business, it's a natural add-on that can be very significant. I mean, a very, very small lighting system is $5,000. A big one is in the $600,000. So when you look at the scope, because I know the integration quite well, I know the parts of it, and I've been in that industry for a very long time, the opportunities, profitability, speed of installation, and simplicity are relatively unmatched in the other things that are being sold.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a very good opportunity. When you consider just lighting in general, you're talking about some great profit margins and some chances to really turn a project into a much larger project. And now you're bringing it outdoors. So getting into that category, clearly it's probably not something CE pros can go into cold. They're going to want to have some really good vendor partners to kind of help them along, guide them along this path, help with some on-site design and installation questions, things of that nature. So of course, Coastal Source, what do you guys bring to the table when it comes to, being a vendor partner for custom integrators?
I think it's a lot of things. And as you know, we've been in the CEDIA channel pretty much from our beginning. So it's been well over a decade. And fundamentally, the products across the board are best in class. Okay, so that's important. But there's all the other business aspects that we've put into Coastal, such as our plug and play cabling. Okay, so it takes the issues with connections and leakage, and you could switch polarity, all the issues you have with underground connections, and really just minimizes them to almost zero, literally almost zero. The skill set is extremely low to make our connections. Okay, the quality of the fixtures is second to none. So when you look at designing a system, which we help you with, and we get into more detail there, what it takes to install it, the expertise needed, and you always do want a foreman or someone who knows what the end result's going to be, but we all have a labor problem of skilled installers. Okay, and many lighting systems, outdoor lighting systems, are fairly complex to actually install. So when we designed the system, we looked at all the business aspects. What are those hot spots that really are aggravating, and try to eliminate them as much as possible. So from the customer service, from us having massive inventory to the other things we do, we want a business model that just makes sense for the integrators. It's set up for integrators. We're not in distribution. It's really set up with a direct dealer relationship, training, all the things that go into making us a great partner is what we're trying to do.
Right. So Franco, tell us a little bit more in depth about some of those resources, tools, and support that Coastal Source provides for your dealers, where you're based at, out of, and how you're able to help them on a job. Either once they come to you maybe and say, hey, I've got this client, he's got a really cool house. We're trying to really make the outdoor sparkle along with what's going on inside. So tell us about that process.
Okay. Well, where we come from, I'm down in the Florida Keys. This is where all our R&D and testing is done, a very harsh environment, and we design everything from scratch. We don't use any off-the-shelf components because we want purposely built outdoor products that serve the purpose. Our assembly, corporate marketing, all the other stuff is done in New Jersey because it's just not practical to do it down here, shipping stuff in and out. As far as our base, we do have an independent dealer network, rep network. And then we also have our technical sales specialists out in the fields. We have, I think we're up to about 10 Mercedes Sprinter vans that are fully loaded with all our audio systems and our lighting that are meant to service our dealers and get their staff excited and educated, and also take it to your customers where it makes a huge impression. So we've got, now we can't cover every square inch of the United States, but we're covering a lot of it, and we're continuing to add regularly. Our TSSs and our reps can walk the jobs because your first one, you really don't know the trees, you don't know what fixture to use. I'll tell you, it's not rocket science though. It's new, but it's, a lot of the directionality, the coverage, all those things, very similar to audio. Okay. And in general, easier than audio. So it's not difficult, but we have people on your first few jobs that will really help you accelerate your confidence, close those deals. Once you get used to our system and doing lighting, you're not gonna need to go back to the book after a few jobs, because we try and make it as simple as possible. Step beyond that is our design services, which are very, very extensive. We now have 5 full-time designers, okay, that just support dealers. And what you do is you have a form on our website you fill out, and you give us as much accurate information as possible and photos. And I'm cutting it short, the process here, but we go and then we design a full plan, which is going to include every fixture, every lamp, what beam angle it should be, what fixture you should use in what areas, all the cabling, the connections, the transformers, and give you a full bill of materials. You then get a very nice graphic package to go with it on the fixtures, that go through everything on why we're using them, the warranty, and your logo on it. And then our designers actually do a video walkthrough of why we chose certain light fixtures, certain speakers, whatever may be the case. The idea there is, one, to reduce your workload, take the expertise up to another level, because we do it every day, and make you look very good in front of the client. So that you separate, in general, landscape lighting, proposals, presentations are not a real high level. And we believe that you are selling a better product. Obviously, integrators have a high overhead. They're not going to be the least expensive solution in most cases. So we have to have a lot of things that prove the value of the system, the value of the integrator service. But the package is very powerful.
Absolutely. It sounds fantastic. And I know from speaking with Coastal Source reps and integrators in the past few years, just doing podcasts and things of that nature, we've heard some wonderful stories about just that, where the rep has been there to do some of the hand holding, and you've had like a 5K job turn into a 6K job, 6-figure job. It just really works out very well. So Franco, tell us a little bit. I think people still have the impression when they hear about outdoor lighting, they're thinking of path lighting, discrete lights that are maybe coming up out of mulch and bushes and things like that. But tell us really, you guys look at it a little bit differently, and you think of outdoor lighting on the whole rather than just simply landscape lighting. So tell us a little bit about why, what are the differences there? And then also some of the trends that that your dealers are seeing on when it comes to exterior lighting.
Yeah. So, they're somewhat interchangeable, outdoor and landscape lighting. Landscape lighting in general is meant to signify fixtures that are in the ground, generally lighting trees, plants, shrubs. Okay. And to be honest with you, that is some of the easiest work because you're not dealing with hardscapes. The hardscape or architectural lighting is when you're attaching it to something that is not the ground. It could be a walkway with our niche lights in it. It could be docks, let's say. It could be overhead lights and soffits and pergolas. It could be sconce lighting. It could be downlighting from things, obviously, and there obviously is downlighting from trees. There's downlighting from structures. So if you just light the yard, the results can be very beautiful. And that's what I think we want to get some people to understand is you really don't have to be an incredible expert to get good results, okay? Doing a nice job in the ground, lighting trees can give a lot of bang for the buck. Just like anything else, if you want that last 10%, there's a lot of work to be done, and it can be very rewarding, but you shouldn't be scared of it because good quality lighting installed in a good manner can be a great just lifestyle enhance for your customers, safety and security. When you start getting into hardscape or architectural lighting, there's a little more of a skill set. You're not sticking things in the ground. So you're going to be drilling in things, you're going to be fastening, etc. Now, a lot of integrators obviously do that every day. So it's a skill set that is not difficult, but you do charge more for fixtures that are in a hard application versus a landscape application. So if anything, if I had to say, let's make a recommendation, those of you that are just starting, you start with the landscape, and you get your hands on it. The other thing I would like to say is getting our hands on our product and our system is a must and is the way you're going to really appreciate it. We could talk about it. We could talk about the plug and play and see. You're going to see it. The cables, the fixtures are beautiful. They're heavy. They're structurally strong. They're well designed. But until you do it yourself, you're not going to appreciate the difference between our systems and other systems.
Yeah, and Franco, you've had a very interesting setups at CEDIA Expo the last couple of years. Let's talk about that a little bit, just so we can end by hitting on Coastal Sources Solutions. You guys have, you'll have a booth inside the convention center, the Colorado Convention Center in Denver, but you guys also have been doing things outside because that's what you do. And so you've had setups at the last couple of expos. Tell us a little bit, just to wrap up here, about the latest solutions that you're going to be showing at the CEDIA Expo and those setups, just the way that you're going to have them so that installers and the attendees do get to see a lot of these products in action.
Yeah, so our indoor booth, very nice, great place to talk to people, check out the product, some light demos, but to truly experience our products, you need to be outdoors. So we have the whole parking lot in front of the convention center, which is a very large space that we will be doing full demos. So you have a lot more selection there. They're in their proper outdoor environment in beignets. So, the products range from our bollards, which everybody knows well, to our lighting fixtures, new products like Contour, and then Razor, the on-wall product. There's some really neat new Razor accessories and products. So,
right, and that's the audio speaker, correct? The Razor that
that's
came
correct.
out last
It's
year?
an on-wall corner, very multi-use. The people who've experienced it have been very impressed. It's selling extremely well. We'll be showing a line source version of it that is 9 foot tall, which is very significant. This is the first year we'll be doing a lighting tent. Okay, so obviously lighting during the day is not real easy to do, but we're going to set up a tent where we can get people to experience lighting. It's not going to be as it would be in someone's yard at nighttime. But we want people to get more comfortable and understand that what a bullet light does, what a path light does, how you can creatively use features that really separate you from somebody who's just sticking fixtures in the ground. And then we have new products, our niche products, as far as trends, small lights that are very powerful and do the job and disappear. Are very popular, right? In most cases, we have some fixtures that are like our match that are somewhat they're contemporary, they're made to be looked at. Other fixtures, even though they're very beautiful, in general, you want them to blend in with the landscape and the hardscape. So our niche line has been extremely popular, which is micro-sized fixtures that are surprisingly powerful and capable, extremely flexible. That line is expanding because it's been so popular. We also have RGB. We will be making a major announcement with a very prominent lighting control company that I think a lot of people will be thrilled with. We've got some new controls. So overall, we'll have a lot of new products, and we'll be showing more of our products in their actual use. But yeah, we're very excited about it. Extreme amount of effort. As we discussed, the indoor booth is a piece of cake versus the outdoors. The outdoors is also meant to be a fun space. You know, come enjoy, hang out. We'll have some happy hours. You know, we have cornhole. It's meant to be educational, but also engaging, exciting. Because as far as we're concerned, this is a very exciting business.
All right, yeah, absolutely, and that certainly sounds like a fun destination for the event. You know, people can go walk around inside, then come outside, hang out, check out the lighting and some good audio and all of that. So with that, Franco D'Ascanio from Coastal Source, thank you so much for joining us, sharing your insights, and we certainly look forward to seeing more at the CEDIA Expo. Thank you for teasing us about what's all going to be going on there.
Yep, look forward to seeing everyone there.